everybody. So in this video, I'm going to talk from another standpoint of seeing. Um, from this standpoint, I'm going to talk about a couple of them. The first one is behind the eyelid vision. Now, I never knew that this was possible. Like, I could actually see dream state sort of open visions before, where I'm actually there. I'll get more into that. But the behind the eyelid vision is it's interesting because you're awake, your eyes are closed, and quite literally a projection of an image. And thus far, I've had two of them. And what happens is a very vibrant, like neon colored light, but an actual picture that you can really see and make out appears. It appears to visible appearance right on the back of your eyelid. It's not in your mind's eye, and it's not something that you can see. Um, you're not out of body somewhere else. It's not in your mind's eye, and it's not seeing into the physical realm with your physical, or into the spiritual realm with your physical eyes either. It's literally projected onto the back of your eyelids, and it's interesting. It's really cool looking. And sometimes it can feel like it's distant. Other times it's like right there. Well, I've only had it happen twice. One was pretty distant and one was up close. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known to say that. So anyway, so that's one type of seeing. So we have the mind's eye imagination style that we talked about in the last video, and then here we have the behind the eyelid vision. And now there's several different dream state ways of seeing also. God likes to communicate in dreams. Your old men will see visions, your young men will dream dreams. Or it might be the other way around. I don't remember. It's in Joel and also in Acts or Corinthians. I don't remember where. But yeah, anyway. So just like in the last video, how God likes to speak in symbols, he sometimes does that in dreams. When you have a dream, you have kind of strange things happening. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's from God, but that's where you have to add in discernment. But I'm not really, I'm kind of just talking a little bit about normal dreams so that you can kind of get an idea as to what that is, how that's different with what I'm about to tell you. So when I was young, just coming into my teens, I was laying in my bed and I was on my side, and I heard a very soft wind blowing in one of my ears, and it started out soft, and it very, very quickly started getting louder and louder and louder until it was deafening. And at that very instant, when it got so loud, it's almost like Pentecost, the very loud wind sound that took place. When it came to that point of loudness, my eyes were opened. It was almost like a door. I'm trying to think of how do I explain this. So before I was in my room, I was in my bedroom, and as I heard it, my eyes opened up. It was almost like a door, kind of. Um, just imagine like a mask being over your face, and you're seeing the physical realm, and all of a sudden, just you're in a completely different place. That's what it was like. The transference from the place where I was at to the place where I ended up was it was in not an instant. It was over a couple of seconds, and then I was there. So what I saw was it was a very narrow hallway. At the very end of the hall was a closed door. on the left wall, or on the left side, there was just a solid wall, and on the right side there was a huge pane of glass. It was a window, right? The entire wall of the entire hallway was a window, and I got up, I walked over there. So I was able to walk. I was able to feel the ground beneath me. My sense of touch was active, and my sense of sight obviously was active too. So I walked over to the center of the hallway and looked out to the right, outside, and or out the window, and I noticed that I was up on a high mountain, and I saw down below me some beautiful oceans. They were crystal clear. I mean, they were just amazing. You think Hawaii looks awesome? No, you look at this and it's just like, whoa. Absolute crystal clear, perfect waters. Just, it was just amazing. And there was grassy plains, and I think this place was paradise because it had, the colors were so vibrant and so real and so alive that it couldn't have been something here on the earth. It was something better. It was something so beautiful. And at this point, I heard a voice speak to me, look up. So I looked up and I saw a cloud that stretched from the left side of the sky to the right side of the sky. It was huge, just this huge cloud. And there was what looked like a castle mansion that was sitting on top of this cloud, and it was golden in color, it was translucent, just beautiful, and like transparent glass, and it had like purple tinges on it, and it sparkled. You know, it had bright light shining out of it, and it was neat. And I heard a voice say, "This is your home." And after that, the vision ended, and that was the end of that vision. Now, uh, I hadn't had a vision like that in a long time, and uh, that was, so long ago. Now, just a few years ago, I had another vision like this, where uh, all of my senses were active. Oh, I forgot to tell you another important thing in the last vision. So rewind. Um, Back to staring at the mansion. The vision didn't end right there. It ended. That's right. I haven't thought about it in so long. I forgot. Uh, Peripheral vision was actually active in the vision at that time. I looked in my peripheral vision, and the door at the end of the hallway started slowly opening. And I saw it, and I was like, "Whoa, what is going on here?" And then there was water that started pouring in, and it poured in so fast, just rapidly. I mean, it was just pouring in so fast, and it went from my ankles to it was ankles, knees, waist, submerged, boom, and that was the end of the vision. I'm sorry, I totally forgot about that part. Um, I think it was some sort of a baptism in the Holy Spirit, and maybe, or I don't know. So, okay, so let's go back to the next open vision that I had. I was in a dream state, but when it happened, um, every single one of my senses were active. I was all of a sudden in the parking lot of a mall when it was raining out. I could see the lights around me, the the um, the the street lights that go over cars and stuff. In the parking lot, I could see that. I could see the department stores all around, and I perceived in my spirit that it was like 3 in the morning, um, and it was raining out, and I could hear the rain. I could see the rain. I could feel the rain. I mean, I may have been there. I don't know. I may have actually been translated there because my senses were active to the point as though I was actually there. Um, but it's like what Paul said, you know, I once knew a man who was caught up into the third heaven, and whether he was in the body or out of the body, I don't know. Same thing here. I have no idea, but it felt very real. So when I was standing in this mall, I again, God likes to say, look up. I heard a voice say, look up. So I looked up and I saw this big fireball in the sky. I mean, if I held up my, my hands like this and looked up there, this fireball, it was huge. I mean, it was probably about the size of a, I'm going to say a car, the size of a car. Now, when I saw this, I was just like, wow. And I heard a voice say, stretch out your hand. So I was like, stretch out my hand, okay. Obedience, right? So I stretched out my hand, and immediately I was connected to this fireball. So I could actually feel the connection to the fireball. It was really cool. It's like my arm became an extension of it. And so I was playing with it, kind of playing with a big fireball meteor thing. I was moving my arm back and forth, and the fireball would move with it. And I was like, whoa, okay. I tried moving my hand up a little bit, but it wouldn't go back up. It only came down. Gravity was definitely pulling this thing down, but the movement of my hand moving from left to right allowed me to control it. So as it was coming down, it came down pretty quick. I decided to take my hand um, down and swipe it across, and it slammed the meteor right into one of the panes of glass on one of the department stores, and it completely shattered. It was just a deafening blast when it hit. I had to put the meteor somewhere and pull something out, but and then instantly, I mean, not within seconds later, uh, something happened. I did some sort of a prophetic gesture with my hand, both of my hands, and the glass reversed its shattered state, like rewinding it back to the point where the glass was actually put back together, and the pain, it was like nothing ever happened. It got rewound and completely repaired. That was amazing, definitely amazing. So I think that's all there is for this video. And that is, so those are a couple other types of seeing. The behind the eyelid vision and the open vision, or normal dreams, and then open state visions within dreams where you're actually there. In the next video, I'm going to talk more about seeing through your physical eyes and stuff like that. So you guys have a great day. Grace and peace. One more thing. Normally, when I give teachings, I tell you how to do things. In this case, all of these experiences were sovereign. Sovereign meaning that they were done by God without any prior knowingness on my part. So it wasn't done by faith. I didn't know what I was going for. I couldn't do anything to cause it. It was just God chose to show it sovereignly. It might be possible to do it through faith. I have no idea. But for my experiences, it was sovereign each time. All right. Oh yeah, and also if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Grace and peace.